I am a cancer survivor of throat cancer, which was quite a surprise to me because I've never smoked a day in my life. I had been a runner for 32 years, a bicyclist, thought I was eating healthy, but guess what? Things just happened. But it didn't matter. I came to the U of M, I got great care, great service, and the doctors were really super. If there's anything unique about my cancer story, it's the fact that I played basketball during treatment. Now let me explain that. I have a hobby of shooting basketball every day. Now at age 58, I'm not going to go up and down the court very much, but I love to shoot basketball. At the time of my diagnosis, I played every day for about 3.5 years. I said to the doctor, "Gosh, Doc, I have this hobby. Can I keep doing it?" And he says, "Well, you're going to be kind of tired from the chemo and the radiation, but if you feel like it, keep playing." And I go, "Great, that's fantastic." At that moment, one of the greatest things that ever happened to me was this. My wife, Patty, said, "I'm going to make sure that you keep playing basketball every day during your treatment." And so we started calling her my tough love coach. And she really turned out to be that, especially when it became Thanksgiving time in '07. Because that's when I was at my lowest. I had a lot of drugs in my body, including for the first time ever, morphine. Now imagine I just finished a 26-hour stay in the hospital because of fever. I'm getting home, I haven't shot hoops yet that day, and I was able to keep the streak going during the entire 7 weeks of treatment, but at that particular moment, I didn't feel like shooting. I sat down in the chair, and she said, "Mark, whatever you do, don't fall asleep, because you haven't shot hoops yet today." And she was going to go out and get my morphine prescription. Now, I don't know if you know anything about this, but that's really hard to find. And so while she was out doing that, of course, like any guy would do, I sat down, left my coat on, sat in a recliner, and went fast asleep. Because during my 26 hours, I didn't get much sleep in the hospital. I had all those drugs in my body, and I just passed out. Next thing I hear, she comes home and she says, Mark, have you shot hoops yet?" And I was just kind of waking up, and I said, "I don't know." And she said, "Well, let me check." She says, "It's been raining. Let me look at your basketball and see if it's wet." And it wasn't. She says, "You haven't shot hoops yet. And oh, by the way, it's 11:15. It took me over 3 hours to find the morphine at the local hospital. You need to get out there and shoot." Well, in our neighborhood, I don't know about in your neighborhood, but we're in suburbia, and when you bounce the basketball in the driveway, it really echoes. So usually I don't play till after 10 o'clock at night, in fairness to my neighbors, but I had to get it in. And by the way, it kept raining. So I left my coat on, I go out and I start playing, and I think like most things, when you start to exercise, you feel a little better. So I was getting my energy back because I slept really well for a couple hours. And now I'm playing, and this is a true story, believe it or not. Next thing I look across the way, my neighbor is walking across the grass. Now it's almost 11:30 at night. She has her raincoat on, and believe it or not, it was on top of her nightgown because her nightgown was sticking out underneath her raincoat. And her name's Bonnie, and she came up to me, and I thought, well, all I can do is apologize because it's that late at night, and obviously I woke her up. And she comes up to me, and this part was really amazing to me. She gave me a hug, and she said, "Mark, I haven't heard you play basketball yet today, and I was afraid that your streak was over." Now, I don't think I could have a better neighbor than that, and that is a true story. So it's been 2 years now. I'm still lucky. I've been playing basketball every day. It's a little over 5 years now, about 5 years and 5 months. And the reason for why I want to share this story is this. I think that during your cancer ordeal, when you're fighting cancer, take what you're most passionate about and do that very thing. For me, it was basketball. But I don't care what it is. Maybe you like to play chess. Maybe you like to quilt. But the best way to counter cancer is to do the thing that you're most passionate about. And I guarantee you, if you do that and you combine it with a positive attitude, because I believe, quite frankly, whether it's true or not, I can overcome anything. Because if you can shoot basketball while you're on morphine and you shoot a lot of air balls and all you can do is laugh about it, you can overcome anything. I think that makes a difference. So at the U of M, you get great doctors, you get great medicine, you have to do your part. So if you bring an attitude and you do the thing that you're most passionate about, I think you're going to like the results, and you too are going to end up being a cancer survivor.